What's up guys, I've got some more crazy hiding spots for you that the community in my Discord server found, as well as a couple that I found myself. I'll have the name of the person that found the spot in the bottom left of the screen if you're curious, and this video will also be laid out a bit differently than the other ones were. I don't have a spot for every kingdom, but some kingdoms have 2 spots, so I'll just go through all of the kingdoms in order. With that out of the way, enjoy the video. The chain chomp room is known for having that one really crazy spot in the ceiling in the very last room. The funny thing is there's actually another equally crazy spot on the opposite wall of the same room. The jump to get up there is a bit tight, but once you're up there you're guaranteed yourself a good round. Our other Cascade spot is found at the end of the 2D sub area. By jumping down from the final platform you can get in between these 2 rocks and wall jump up behind the rock wall. Lake Kingdom is full of potential for crazy spots. By first collecting all of the Goombas and then bringing them over to the moon pipe next to the Odyssey, you can do a high jump, uncapture, and then wall jump to get up to this section of the wall. Unfortunately, you can't really get any higher from here, but it's still an amazing spot. This spot is a bit weird, but for whatever reason, certain captures will behave differently on slopes that Mario would normally just slide off of. This is a really bold spot because someone else could just jump on you from above at any moment, but there is a safer option you can do with the Goomba. This isn't completely safe either. I think it's better, but it really just depends on the seeker's routes. If this spot was in any other kingdom, I probably wouldn't include it, but since it's in Lost Kingdom, I feel obligated to. Instead of explaining the spot, well, I'll just show you. By raising the tree and putting Glide-On below it, you appear to be inside of the tree while giving Glide-On a concussion. You do have to admit this looks hilarious, and even if you aren't visible, I think this should still be allowed since Mario can be heard if someone's close by. If you saw the first hide and seek video, you might remember the spot in this sub area where you hung off the small part of this lower section. This is a much better version since it's a more covered location and it's way easier to stay on. Prepare to have your mind blown. I really don't think my voiceover can do this spot justice, but I'll try my best. To start, you want to capture all of the Goombas in the first section and then bring them over to the very edge of this platform, uncapture, and then jump around making sure not to trigger this icicle. Next, lure them over to the other side of the icicle and then grab the remaining Goombas in the lower area. After climbing to the top, accidentally take damage, and then grab the last 3 remaining Goombas. Now if you take them over to this icicle, jump, uncapture, wall jump off the wall, then off the icicle floating above where you were standing, you can go through this area with no collision and land on what is supposed to be one of the falling icicles. The fact that someone was able to figure all of this out is just astounding to me. Now if you're worried about not being visible, you can crouch at the edge so you're partially showing, or if you want to take it even further, you can just hang off the edge. Now if this isn't a W spot, then I don't know what is. This is actually a spot that I found, and it happens to be in the Seaside Gushin sub area. You need to conserve your water nearly perfectly to do this, but with some practice it becomes easier. Okay, in order to do this you need to get up on top of this ring for maximum height, then fly back toward the start in the cleanest line possible while trying to get up just below the ceiling. Then right after you go through the tightest point in the gap, uncapture. If you did it right, then you can just spam wall jump, and I'm pretty sure you're high enough to where they can't hear you from below. If you want to know when someone comes in the sub area, it might also be smart to tilt your camera down, but hey, it's just a thought. This is a much more simple spot, but I think it can still be really useful. If you head up to this platform, you can knock down this sign and it will spawn a moon, but instead of collecting the moon, what you want to do is just hang off the edge where the sign was. Your fingers will still pop out, but the rest of Mario is totally concealed by the sign. If you go into the Pokeio sub area, capture a Pokeio, and then jump under this bridge right at the start, you can poke into the bottom of these floating bridge supports. It's kinda odd that this is the only part of the bridge you can poke into, but hey, it does work, and who's gonna check down there? That was all 10 of the spots that I had. I hope you thought they were cool, and if you have any cool spots of your own, you can share them in my Discord, which will be in the description. I just want to give a quick thank you to everyone who shared spots, as well as you for watching to the end of the video. On another note, thanks to Small Ant for using some of my spots on stream. You have no idea how cool it was to watch from my perspective. It's likely that there will be more hide and seek videos in the future. Big things are on the way. That's all I've got. See you in the next one.